Hey everybody, happy Wax on Wednesdays. This week I've been doing a lot of cyanotype prints outdoors, and not every print comes out exactly the way that you envisioned it when you begin your composition. And if you've ever had a print that had just sort of a large white area where your focal point was supposed to be, a lot of times this happens when there's overlapping foliage or bulky flowers are used, those bulky flowers that are so beautiful, but when they go to print, the light just can't penetrate through all of those petals. Don't despair if you have a print like this, because there's lots of ways that you can enhance your cyanotype prints and at the same time even give them a pop of color. So here I have a picture of what the print looked like as it was exposing, and I have a picture here on my phone. I usually take pictures at several stages of each print just so I can see what it looked like beforehand, what it looked like as it was developing, and a lot of times that will give me ideas for how to further enhance it once it's done developing. So this particular print was also slightly overexposed. So there's all sorts of things that can happen when you're printing. You can have overexposures, underexposures, or things that just didn't print the way that you thought they would when you laid the botanicals down. So here I'm going to add just some pop of color with some gouache. So this is a really fun way I just sketched in roughly what I wanted to do and then filled the rest in with some gouache paint. This is some Winsor Newton artist gouache and also some Holbein gouache. I'm sort of mixing the two. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the board with archival bookbinders glue and sand down the edges. And then I'm going to go ahead and add with my Uniball pen, go ahead and add those wispies back in of just the idea of the dandelions being there. And that was sort of a lot of supplies that I told you all right at once. So if you ever want to know all of the supplies that I use in each and every Wax on Wednesdays, you can always go to the blog over on sherryreplogle.com. The link is usually right below the video for each blog post, and you can click on that link, go right to the blog post, and see all of the supplies that I use that week. Once I finish painting my colors in, and you can see I no longer have that big white blob in the center of my composition there, I'm going to go ahead and give it an encaustic finish with some clear encaustic medium. I love using encaustic as a finish in cyanotype prints. It just deepens the color, enhances all of the details in the print, and the paper absorbs the wax in and creates this beautiful, dreamy quality to the print. If you're just getting started here on Wax on Wednesdays, then welcome. And if you've never done a cyanotype before, cyanotypes are a form of cameraless photography. So these are prints done on sensitized paper that, when exposed to UV light, actually create a photograph, in this case of natural botanical materials. And if you're joining me for the spring session of Cyanotypes, the Magic of Alternative Photography workshop, I am so excited to get started with this spring session beginning on May 24th. The January winter session was so much fun, and the spring session is going to be so wonderful to be able to get out there now in the sunshine and create these prints. In the workshop, I show how to do both, how to print outdoors and also how to print with a indoor UV light. So I show both options. So if you want to keep creating these at night or on a rainy day, then you certainly can, or you can use the beautiful spring sunshine that's outside. But the workshop begins on May 24th, and right now there is an early bird registration sale going on, 25% off of the workshop price, and that is until May 8th. 2021. So this is coming up on the very last week to grab that 25% off sale price on the workshop before it goes to its regular price. So if you want to get that discount, then make sure you do it before May 8th. And I get a lot of emails asking about my workshops, and all of my workshops are run all the same way. There's 18 online workshops. They are all run the exact same way, and they're all on the same site. So if you have multiple workshops with me, they're all on the very same site, so you can access them all at one time. They also have no time limits or expiration dates. So once you purchase a workshop, you have it for as long as you want. So you can go back and refer to the workshop even years after you've gotten it, and go back and look and refresh, get some ideas, some inspiration. You can mix and match your workshops. So maybe you want to grab a project from one workshop and use it on a project over at another workshop. You can easily do that by accessing them all in one place. And every single workshop has multiple hours of videos and multiple projects along with techniques to build up whatever the workshop is focusing on. So in the case of the cyanotype workshop, we are working on traditional cyanotypes in one module. In the next module, we're going to push texture and pulling out textures and creating different looks for your cyanotype. The third module is all about bringing out different colors in your cyanotypes and really pushing the boundaries on that and trying to explore creating more visual color, more sort of visual interest in those cyanotypes other than just the traditional cyan blue. So this one is all about fun exploration and finding out what will happen if you create certain situations in your printing, with lots of technique building projects and helpful tips along the way. So here in the end, I added RNF pigment stick. This is a burnt umber. I added it to the entire piece to help sort of bring out some of that texture so that you can see it, and also to unify the piece because the paper doesn't go quite to the edge. I did this all over, including on the edges, to sort of warm up the entire piece and have it all have a uniform look. So I hope that you really have fun with this project, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and have a wonderful week. See you next week. Happy creating.